Yesterday, I asked a question on this page about the topic that you would want us to treat. I saw all the topics that people sent, but then there is this particular one that somebody sent in my inbox, and that was actually the first topic that entered. Let's talk about this. This person asked about the difference between object of a verb and then object of a preposition. Now, I know very well that there are times when you hear people talk about the parts of a sentence, and there you hear the subject, you hear the object. Apart from that, some persons will tell you that we have the uh, object of a verb and then the object of a preposition, and this leaves many students confused. Now, what is the difference between the two of them? I mean, the two things you have on the board: object of a verb and the object of a preposition. Now, we know very well of something known as the subject of a sentence, right? Sorry, we're talking about the subject. Whenever you talk about a subject, you're talking about that part of the sentence that performs the action. Because of course, if you have a sentence where there is an action word, there has to be a part of it, an element of that sentence that performs the action. This is what you refer to as the subject of the sentence. So, for instance, if you have something like Henry, Henry broke Harry broke the plate. This is a sentence. Now, the action word here is broke. And what we're trying to say is that since you have an action word, there has to be a part of the sentence performing that action. And that is why this Henry becomes the subject of the sentence. Now, some persons will tell you that this is the subject of the verb. Other persons will tell you that it is the subject of the sentence, whichever one, they are the same thing. Whether you refer to it as the subject of the verb or the subject of the sentence, you're talking about the same thing. But then, coming to the part of the object is the part of the sentence generally. It is defined as the part of the sentence or the element of the sentence that receives the action of the subject. Now, in a situation whereby there is an action performed by the subject, there has to be another element of the sentence receiving that action. Now, that is why you might have something like, okay, let me use something else. If we say, the teacher if we have something like this, the teacher rewarded Stella. Now, the teacher here is the subject of this sentence. Now, there has to be an element of the sentence or a part of the sentence that receives that action, and that is why you have Stella here. Now, this word, Stella, is the object of the verb rewarded because it receives this action of rewarded. The teacher rewarded Stella. Now, this is the subject of the verb. There are situations where you have an object, but there is no action. Like there is no action being exacted upon that object. Take for instance where you have something like, if we say, the teacher is in the office. When you have something like this, the teacher is in the office. The subject of the sentence is the teacher, am I right? Now, you have the office as the object, but it is not the object of a verb because there is no verb in this sentence. So you cannot refer to this as the object of a verb. You rather have it as the object of a preposition. So whenever you have an object, you have to look out for what that object has reflecting on it. If it is a situation where you have a verb, then you have object of a verb. But if it is where you have a preposition and there is no action word, someone will tell you that yes, that is a verb. Yes, but it is not an action word. So there is no action that is being done on this office. So this office is mostly affected by this in, and it is a preposition. This tells you about the position of the teacher. The teacher is in the office. So the office here is the object of a preposition. There are times where you do not even have an object at all. You might have something like, the teacher is tall. In a situation like this, you don't have an object. You cannot say that this is an object. No. What you have there is subject, verb, and then adjective. That is what you have there. So I believe with this, you get to understand whenever you come across any of these, you know which of them is object of a verb and object of a preposition. When you say the book is on the table, that table there is an object of the preposition on. Now, this is about the object of a verb and the object of a preposition. Thank you.